Hey guys, so today I want to take you through a basic warm-up. Now I know that kind of sounds a little mundane, but go with me on this. So we spend so much of our focus warming up and cooling down as it pertains to exercise or working out or a sport that we're doing or dancing. You would warm up and cool down for those activities, but we sometimes forget that our daily lives include a lot of movement and activity and work. And so we spend all this time warming up and cooling down for those specific things, but we forget to warm up and cool down for our daily lives. And so what I want to do today is kind of take you through just a really basic warm up. I like to do it in the morning because it gets my body kind of circulating and ready to go, so that if you're doing something, it could be something as simple as brushing your teeth to moving boxes, moving furniture, running up and down subway stairs. These are all activities that do need to get a little bit of a warm up so that we can prevent injury and imbalance from happening in our bodies as we do these things. So come on with me. We're going to start by just making some space within our joints. Now this isn't sustained stretching. This isn't something where you're just kind of holding into a stretch for a long period of time. You kind of need to be warm for that. So this is what you would do before you do a static stretch. So you're just kind of making space and moving. My feet are moving. I'm just trying to get some blood flow. So you can bring it to one side. I like to grab the wrist and do that. And over to the other side. Now, this is for you. This should all feel really, really good. And it should never feel like it feels achy or off or wrong. This is basically what you're doing to feel like you can move and be yourself again. So I'm reaching up, looking at the ceiling. Don't ever lock out your knees. Make sure your knees are soft. And curling at the waist, you can rock side to side. This is getting a nice little space making in the low back. And bringing the hands behind the head, opening up the chest. And curling the chin to the chest. Now with this one, make sure you're curling your chin to your chest, but I'm not pulling my head down. I'm just letting the weight of my hands relax onto my head. And I'm making a nice scooped out shape with my abdomen. Good, and you can bring the head to one side. You can even think about the fingers going toward the floor. I like to kind of play with where the angle of my head is in space. I like looking up the ceiling because that actually opens up the front of the neck, which feels really good. And switch. And again, you can play with the angles. You can reach those fingers down. And bringing the arms behind your back, pressing down, chest up. And rolling forward. Now, for my flexi people, go ahead and place your hands right on the floor. That's fine. For those of you who might not have as much flexibility, it's fine to bend your knees. It's fine to have your hands on your thighs, on your shins. I'm going to look up to talk to you, but your head should be dropped and relaxed, and you should just shake that out. And in this position, I want you to feel like you can just kind of move and play with what your body needs. You can bend the knees, you can straighten them, you can rock your hips side to side, you can take your arms over to one side. Remember, shake your head out. Just because I'm talking to you and turning, your head should be relaxed. And over to the other side. If you want to get a nice little calf stretch, you can bring the feet a little closer together and come into this nice little forced arch position. So I'm just in a crouched position. That back up. And rolling that on up. Good. So now I'm going to use my little exercise bike, but you can use a chair, you can use the couch. It's just there for balance and kind of to give you a little something to work with. So grabbing a hold of this, you are going to start by grabbing the ankle and bringing that back. So for those of you that have some knee, maybe some hip issues, the best thing to do is bring it forward and then bring it back from there. But for those of you that don't, you can just go ahead and grab it. Now if you want a little extra stretch, you can switch hands. And for those of you that really want to test your balance and see if you can kind of hold on to it, we'll see if I can, grabbing a hold with both hands and pulling that all the way back. Keeping this nice flat feeling in the front of your body. Good, and go ahead and switch sides. So starting with same side. If you want to switch hands, you can. test your balance. Go ahead and grab it with both. Now, if you are finding that any of these stretches, you feel like you want to hold them for longer, or you're like, ooh, that feels really great to sit in that, do it. This isn't about me. This is just me taking you through what I do. If you find that there's another stretch that you want to add into this, that's also fine. This is all about you. Now, on the same note, if you find that there is a stretch that you're like, this really doesn't feel good, don't do it. This isn't about doing an exact routine. This is just me giving you the idea of what you could be doing every day to just get your body moving and warm. So play with what works for you. So the next thing you're gonna do, you're gonna actually start with like a little march. I know this is a kind of a balance thing, so do what you can. So starting with a march, just grabbing a hold, getting the hips nice and warm. And then you can go ahead and grab a hold and just bring that knee in. Roll the ankle out a little bit. Get the foot and the ankle warm. And hello. You can grab a hold with both hands and bring it in. Good. So trying that on the other side, just bringing it in. Rolling the ankle. And grabbing a hold with both hands. You can tell which side I like better. And you can squeeze that into the chest. Nice. Now again, grabbing a hold of a chair, a couch, whatever you have lying around. You're going to just grab a hold of it with both hands and sit your hips back. Now, the thing to remember about this is that you don't want to be too close, but you also don't want to be too far away. You want to be just at the right angle, so maybe like, I don't know, like 2 feet, 2.5 feet away, so that you can sit your hips back. And just relax. It's not going to look pretty, so don't try to make it look pretty. You're just going to relax and let this all hang out. Let your hips go back. Your knees are soft, but you will feel a little bit of a hamstring stretch. And this should open up the chest. This should open up the hamstrings. And rolling that up, crossing and doing a kind of a standing figure 4. So now if this is enough for you, great. Hang out here. This is a perfectly good stretch. For those of you that have a little more flexibility and want to get a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can maybe start by putting one hand on the floor. For those of you that want to get a little more than that, you can put both hands on the floor and just relax into that, really sitting those hips back. And walking that back up and switching sides. And again, this is fine. If you want a little deeper stretch, you can place one hand down. And even deeper, both hands down. And walking that back up, coming back into this arched position. And now you're going to bring it up and bring your hips forward. So you're not arching this. You're not overarching this. You're just lifting your chest toward the ceiling. And the knees aren't locked back. It's just giving a nice opening of the front of the body. This should be flat and this should be still engaged. Don't let this sit in. This should be lifted. And rolling that through and come back. And then from here you can do a little bit of a contraction. You can even walk the hands to one side. So I'm thinking about scooping this out. Like I said, you can go side to side with that, kind of getting a nice stretch of this nice mid to low back. And bringing that up to standing. And to finish, just moving your arms through space, maybe doing some circles. Shake out the legs a little. Shake out your whole body. And that, my friends, is a full body, just basic warm-up just to get everything moving and circulating. Again, this is about you, so if there's things in here that you are like, that doesn't work for me, or if you're like, oh, I really like this stretch in the morning, oh my gosh, add that in or take that out. This is all about just getting your body ooey and gooey so that you can go about your day, prevent injury as you go about active daily living, and just feeling really good all over. So until next time, guys, be well and have a wonderful, wonderful day.